Liviamo negli lieti calici che la bellezza infiora e là fuggevol l'ora si ebria voluta liviam nel dolci.
The FIMO Symposium is an event for high-end artists. We try to develop FIMO into the direction of high arts under the concept artists teach artists. The FIMO Symposium is very well known under all the competitive polymer clay events because we try to provide our high-end consumers always with something special, starting from the location, over the frame program, to the workshops themselves. For example, we always try to get the most well-known artists as teachers. In concept, the FIMO Symposium takes place every year in a different country. This year we are really happy to be in beautiful Italy. This is a country well known for their achievement, for their cultural achievements in all kinds of arts, from music to architecture. This year, we try to combine all the elements of the symposium to one whole to give the artists a maximum of inspiration. Therefore, we choose the famous opera La Traviata as leading topic of the whole symposium. We show them pictures and let them listen to the music to give them an inspirational influence. And what is absolutely new, for the first time, the artists will get some time to work without the guidance of the teachers, totally free, under these inspirational influences.
Yes, it's my first FIMO Symposium. I have wanted to go for a couple of years, but I haven't had the opportunity.
And do you like it and you learned new techniques? What is your experience today?
Yeah, I've learned a lot of new techniques. I've only had 2 workshops yet, but it's very interesting and it puts your imagination alive.
You're asking, what does polymer clay mean to me? It's made me who I am. When I was 8, an aunt came to the house with this material. She knew that we were very creative children. As soon as I had this material in my hands, I just fell in love immediately. Since that moment, I have always worked with FIMO. I was in Argentina back then and using a different material, but later, when I came to Italy, I began working with FIMO. One thing that really changed my life was reading the book by Nan Roche, which was the first book to come out in America on the Murrina glass technique. So my world changed because I had learned a technique that was largely unknown at the time. After that book came others. I think there are now 600 to 700 on the topic. In Italy back then, there were no books about this. After searching everywhere, I said to myself, if I don't find a book, I'll publish one. I'll offer to do it myself. I approached Fabbri and other publishers. They accepted me. And we made this beautiful book, which was published in 1999. After that, life went on. I began to teach. I am now a grandmother, and so of course I don't teach quite as much as I used to. But I still play, because I play with my grandchildren, and this is something they really love to do. Something else I focus on now, because it's easier working from home, is making videos for my YouTube channel. Every week, I upload 2 projects. I put up a lot of things that children like as well. My grandson always wants to watch them. Then we have a play and make the projects. I can truly say that polymer clay has changed my life. It's been my work, and even at the end of my days, I think I'll always want to play with FIMO, because it's a real experience, something creative. It's my life.
Well, this symposium is a really great occasion to get new experiences in respect of techniques and in respect of design. And this year especially, we have a completely new approach. We get inspired from the teachers. We get the inspiration about music, about famous artwork, about keywords, and that makes our brain thinking totally different, and we start with these new ideas and then we continue and make the designs out of it.
That's really easy, because all you need to do is listen to La Traviata, and if you stay quiet and you hear the highs and the lows and the flow, it's very similar to working with any kind of art. I work very organically, meaning there's not a lot of pre-thinking to what I do. I like to let the clay inform me. When I listen to music like La Traviata, I get a feeling for movement, rhythm, and these are the things that I try to put into the clay. How can I make the clay move? How can I make the FIMO do what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling? It's not a literal translation of the music. It can't be. But like any art, it's a balance. If you have too much something in the music, it can be too sharp, too loud, or if it's too much low sounds, it can throw the balance off. Working with FIMO or any kind of art project is the same kind of thing. You look for the balance. So when a piece of art works, I like to say that it sings to you, okay? It has its own sound. When you look at a painting or you look at something and it's like automatically, like you almost hear it, you almost smell it. So I try to do a little of that in my way of thinking about it. I am not 1,000,000% versed in Verdi. I do love opera. Probably more of a Mozart girl myself, but I do listen to it often, and each time I listen to it, I hear something new. And I try to bring that into my clay work. Maybe I'm starting with something I've done before, but all of a sudden, that little sound in the back of my head makes me say, well, what if I twist it this way? Or what if I pull it that way? It's like pulling out a sound in a musical piece. That's why I think it's very related.
Hello, you are coming from Belgium. We are here for your 6th edition of FIMO Symposium. So can you tell us which is the best thing you learned today and which is the difference in respect of the other edition you joined?
It's every year different. We have always other teachers and the challenges are different. We learned new techniques this morning, kind like artistic things with pastels and pencils, and you can create your own thing, and it's very unique. It's a pièce unique you make. You cannot make a second time the same thing, and that's so wonderful. And it's so great to work with FIMO. I do it already 30 years, and I still discover new things, so it's great to be here.
Okay, thank you very much and enjoy your FIMO Symposium. Thank you.
Yes, before I came to the symposium, I visited Lago d'Orta. a very beautiful spot where the lake is nestled in the hills, foothills of the Alps. And climbing up to the top of the mountain, I could see the sculpture and the graceful shape of the lake nestled in between the mountains. This was the basis for the class that I put together here, taking natural, organic, sculptural shapes and bringing them to life. We're talking about the rhythm of the place, the colors that you use, the textures that you see, and all of that was very much a part of what I experienced that day in Lago d'Orta. We talk about the proportion in design, and especially for my class, proportions of colors and textures. And obviously, the green of the hills, the trees and the vegetation was the most important color in the scene, followed by the lake colors, blues and darker blue-greens, and it's beautifully clear water, so it had a very wonderful feeling. And then the little village where the buildings all are dotted with the red tile roofs. And it was the perfect example of having a little bit of accent color that brings the whole palette to life. And this is the kind of thing that I like to teach my students to do, to make sure that there's a star of the show, a most important element, and then some supporting characters, and then that little bit of spice, the unexpected, different something that brings it all to life.
It's a great experience, and it's very fun, and the new techniques is very, very great.
My experience with FIMO began just 4 years ago. I was browsing the internet and came across this amazing Skinner blend, and just fell in love with polymer clay. So I started buying all the materials I could, scalpels, hammers, blades, and so on. I come from a musical background, and so I think the colors probably reminded me of musical tones. I really find a lot of music in FIMO. I find music, nature, the elements, fire, air, water, as well as great freedom of expression, because I think this is a unique and wonderful material for constantly creating something new. It's so versatile. You can combine it with thousands of other materials using mixed techniques, for example. When I began working with plaster and ink, a whole new world opened up, and this is a world that really never ends. So soon after that, there was a post on Polymer Clay Daily featuring one of my pieces. As an art lover, I think it was a piece inspired by Klimt, maybe. I'm not sure now. I continued working on combining different techniques and materials, which enabled me to produce a wide variety of work and meet many new people. Because each material has so many aspects and different people using it. Then I was contacted by STAEDTLER about this symposium, and another new world opened up, which I knew nothing about, as I live in a very isolated area in the countryside, where there aren't many opportunities for making contacts in this field, and so this has been a fantastic discovery.